In the world of luxury watches, names like Omega, Patek Philippe, and Audemars Piguet float around like celebrities at a high society gala. Each brand has its storied past, lofty achievements, and if we're honest, a fair share of drama. Omega, in particular, has always stood at the intersection of art, engineering, and well-timed marketing genius. This is the tale of how a small Swiss workshop grew to become a global icon of horology, and how the people behind it, most notably the Brandt family, turned the gears of time in their favor. From pocket watches sold by a traveling dreamer to precision instruments timing athletic heroes, and from the circuits to the far side of the moon, Omega's journey is as dynamic as the escapements ticking within its cases. Welcome to the Omega story, a saga of vision, innovation, friendly rivalry, and just the right touch of Swiss stubbornness. Let's turn our gaze back to 1848, when a 23-year-old Louis Brandt set shop in Chaux-de-Fonds. He was hunched over a small workbench, assembling pocket watches with the care of a pastry chef icing a perfect millefeuille. He sourced components from local Swiss craftsmen and traveled Europe to sell his timepieces, each one a reliable companion in an age where minutes mattered. But accuracy was a luxury few could afford. Louis didn't labor in isolation. Across Switzerland, luminaries like Anthony Patek, destined to partner with Adrien Philippe, were laying the groundwork for Patek Philippe, while the families that would form Audemars Piguet were perfecting their complications in rustic attic workshops. Something that Brandt would come to know quite profoundly, as he is credited as the man to commission Audemars Piguet's very first wristwatch. Together, they formed a quiet brotherhood of horological heroes, like the Avengers, but armed with ballet springs and whatnot instead of capes. Where Patek would become known for refinement and AP for intricate complications, Brandt's watches earned a reputation for reliability and practicality. He created a foundation of what would eventually become Omega, a brand unafraid to push the boundaries of production and performance. Long before iconic models like the Seamaster and Speedmaster graced wrists, Louis Brandt's handiwork was setting the standard for the quality Swiss watches would be known for. When Louis Brandt passed away in 1879, his sons Louis Paul and César stepped into the spotlight. They took the family's workshop from cozy artisan's nook to the bustling industrial hub of Biel/Bienne. Here, like watchmaking visionaries armed with the toolbox of newfangled concepts, they embraced interchangeable parts, radical for the era, as many saw watches as artisanal, one-off artistic creations. In this new environment, Omega's precursors emerged, movements like the Labrador, in the groundbreaking 19-line Omega caliber in 1894. This masterpiece introduced unprecedented precision and serviceability. The brand's adoption of the name Omega, as in the ultimate from the Greek alphabet, was, and still is, akin to dropping the mic. Where other watchmakers merely produced timekeepers, Omega declared itself the final word, an ultimate statement that still resonates over a century later. By the dawn of the 20th century, Omega was already ticking loudly on the global stage, Switzerland's largest watch manufacturer, producing over 240,000 pieces per year. Omega became known not just for the quantity, but for an uncompromising quality that would later define icons like the Constellation and the DeVille collections. When Louis Paul and César passed away in 1903, alongside the invention of the Omega caliber, their innovations ensured the company didn't skip a beat, much like an expertly regulated experiment. The Omega ethos, rooted in the technical prowess and forward-thinking strategy, lived on, ready to shape the decades to come. As the 20th century progressed, Omega's watches were on a mission to conquer Earth and beyond. In 1932, the brand became the official timekeeper of the Olympic Games, proving that it could measure human achievement down to a fraction of a second. Like a constellation carefully charting the heavens, only here the stars were record-breaking athletes. The legendary Seamaster, born in 1948, dove headfirst, deeper than ever before, into the world of aquatic adventures. If Neptune wore a watch, odds are it would be a Seamaster. During World War II, Omega's reliability made it a favorite of the British RAF. Later, the brand's affinity for precision caught NASA's attention. The Speedmaster, introduced in 1957, and additionally aimed at timing racing speed at Le Mans, for example, found unexpected stardom in the cosmos. Famously, the Speedmaster measured a crucial 14-second engine burn during the Apollo 13 mission. Tom Hanks' cinematic portrayal of the nerve-wracking scenario turned the chronograph into the ultimate star of a real-life Hollywood blockbuster. Forget racetracks, the watch cemented its place in history by timing life-or-death maneuvers in the silence of space. Great stories often come with a few raised eyebrows. In Omega's case, controversies and innovations fueled the fire of progress. Take the first wristwatch tourbillon. Omega unveiled this mechanical marvel in 1947. Critics and purists still debate whether Omega truly deserves the first title, arguing over historical footnotes like scholars battling over a rare manuscript. True or not, the tourbillon underscored Omega's willingness to experiment, placing Abraham Louis Breguet's creation in the same breath as the virtuosos of complications like Patek Philippe and Audemars Piguet. Then there's the coaxial escapement, a concept conceived by watchmaking legend George Daniels and championed by Omega from the late 90s onward. Traditional lever escapements were as common as Swiss dairy farms, but the coaxial dared to reduce friction, enhance accuracy, and prolong service intervals. Some scoffed. How dare Omega challenge centuries-old traditions? Yet, over time, the coaxial became a badge of honor, proving that innovation didn't end with the Industrial Revolution. During this era, Omega also expanded its lineup with watches like the Railmaster for engineers and scientists, the quirky Chronostop, and the aviation-inspired Flightmaster, showing that it could cater to every niche conceivable. Whether perfecting the mechanical heart of the watches or testing them at the edge of human endeavor, Omega persisted in pushing boundaries. After all, if you can measure 14 seconds in the dark void of space, why not try reinventing the escapement wheel as well? The 1970s brought the quartz crisis, a time when cheap battery-powered watches from Asia threatened to turn the Swiss mechanical giants into relics. Many brands folded faster than a nervous poker player. Omega, though, weathered the storm by merging, restructuring, and later becoming a cornerstone of the Swatch Group. The brand balanced new quartz products like the slimline Constellation Quartz with a return to its mechanical roots as the crisis waned. By the late 90s, Omega reclaimed mechanical mastery with a vengeance. The coaxial escapement was no flash in the pan, it was the future. Old principles melded with new ideas to create a lineup that appealed to traditionalists and modernists alike, ensuring Omega emerged more resilient than ever. Today, Omega stands tall, its heritage woven into every dial and movement. The planet ocean dives deeper, the Speedmaster chases new frontiers, and the Speedmaster keeps making waves, sometimes literally. Partnerships with the Olympic Games endure, and Omega's relationship with James Bond franchise ensures its watch shine on the silver screen, dazzling audiences and villains alike. Though the name Brandt has faded from the headlines, the brand's DNA remains anchored in the values Louis Brandt instilled long ago. Precision, innovation, and a dash of audacity continue to define Omega's future as surely as they shaped its past. From a single workshop in Chaux-de-Fonds to controlling time on the moon, from quiet Swiss valleys to global sporting arenas, Omega's journey proves that time itself can be shaped, measured, and mastered. The people, Louis Brandt and his heirs, the artisans, engineers, and dreamers, created not just watches, but a legacy. In the process, they formed a brand that can claim to have changed how we measure our days and mark our greatest achievements. And so, Omega's history ticks on, a reminder that when you fuse innovation with tradition and a touch of humor with a whole lot of courage, you don't just keep time, you make it your own.